to something that Jana said about parental consent, like involving parents during the pregnancies of minors. In cases where the parents don't really have good relationships with those minors, it would only make the situation for that minor actually harder and not easier, and it wouldn't actually benefit either the minor or the family in that situation. And then they would actually have to deal with repercussions of jeopardizing their family life and relationships. In cases where the parents are religious and they would never allow their daughters to have abortions, they would instead have the minor go through the trauma of living through the birth and raising the child at a very young age. There also can be cases of trauma if that minor does go through delivering the baby. Mental issues can arise from birth delivery, such as postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. These mental issues are associated after a woman has given birth, and it commonly cause paranoia, hallucinations, and delusions. So at a very young age, the minor is still mentally developing, and if they have to go through that birth, then it would only affect their quality of life afterward. So parents that do force their minors to go through their unwanted pregnancies will ultimately affect the child, not only the child, but also the mother's quality of life in a negative way, because then that child, in some cases, can be seen as like a financial burden, or even be abused if the family didn't want it in the first place, but were forced to have the baby due to maybe religious issues because it may be against the religion. Also, it's like in schools, I'm pretty sure all of us went through sex ed. So if sex education and sex in itself is being introduced and exposed to minors at a very young age, contraceptives, condoms are also being exposed. Why should abortion not be exposed to them? And if it is seen as a way to ultimately terminate the pregnancy, if the minors are practicing sex. There isn't really any evidence to show that abortions cause infertility. Abortions, if done by an expert with proper medical guidance, is usually a safe procedure and doesn't affect anyone's fertility in any way. With advances in the medical field, infection rates and complications after medical termination of pregnancy has gone down drastically, and that is from the Pregnant After Abortion, read health-related blogs, articles, and news by I don't know how to say her name, but